Yes, you did read the title right. It's exactly what it says in the title. She did do a line in class. So, like all teenagers, I was in high school, and sometimes there are just some people who are willing to do more stuff and substances than others. This story takes place in 10th grade, and it's with this girl that I used to know. I knew her back in elementary school, but I had moved, and when I went to high school, she went to the same one. And this girl specifically, like, loved to push her limits, or just push boundaries to see how far she can get away with certain things. Like thing, for example, she started smoking weed when she was in 7th grade. She even tried to get me to do it when we had like met up with one time, because we had a similar friend group. I had friends that were friends with her at my middle school. Then I didn't do it then, but freshman year came around and I folded. But still, I guess like weed wasn't enough for her. And one thing she did do was she liked to do hardcore stuff. One thing being fun snow nose powder. And she really liked this one, to the point she did it in class. So we're just in class, right? It's first block, first period, whatever, first class of the day. And she pulls out this little can. It's like it's I don't know what kind of can it was. It was a can of something, like, but she had reused it. I think it was like a mint can, like almost like outdoors, but it wasn't, because it was like circle almost. She takes a pinch and she like lines up this white powder on her desk, and she just goes full in. She just snorts that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she looks at me and she's like, you want some? I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, here. She hands me a little. She like takes some of it out and puts it in a little bag and just hands it to me. I'm like, okay. And yeah. And I just take it. I don't really know why I took it. I just put it in my book bag. It's not that much, okay? Before you guys be like, oh, SWEBBY them drugs. No, it wasn't that much, and I didn't do it. I did not do it. I threw it away later. She takes out another bit and does another line, and she just snorts that shit again. And 3 minutes pass, and she starts like kind of tweaking. And I'm not gonna lie, she was tweaking pretty bad, because I guess, see, I don't know what to say, because I've never done it, so I don't know how the effects are supposed to go. But she was kind of like, she was jittery almost. And then 5 minutes go by, and she is just like slumped. Not slumped as in sleeping, but like her body just doesn't respond to any like signals that she's trying to do. She can't do anything. She's just sitting there like she literally looks like a vegetable. She's drooling all over her desk, and it's to the point that the teacher's like, it says her name. I'm gonna name her, I don't know, Hillary for this story. She's like, Hillary, and Hillary doesn't respond for the first time, and she's like, Hillary. She calls her like 3 more times, and then Hillary finally responds. And he's like, yes, teacher. Or let's think of a teacher's name. Miss Applebottom. Yes, Miss Applebottom. And Miss Applebottom's like, are you okay? And Hillary's like, yeah, I'm fine. And the teacher's like, okay, just checking. And she goes back to teaching a lesson. And Hillary takes out another line and snorts that shit again. I guess the first 2 lines were just not enough for her. She just had to get some more. And as she snorts it, the teacher turns around and looks at Hillary and is like, what did you just do? And Hillary's like, oh, nothing. And she's like, no, seriously, I just saw that. What was that? And she's like, it was nothing. And she's like, you just snorted something. And yeah. And Hillary's like, I swear I didn't. I was cleaning my desk, or she said something stupid like that. And so the teacher's like, okay, she's like, okay, because Miss Applebottom was a pretty forgiving teacher. But so Hillary starts tweaking out even harder, and the teacher's like, are you sure you're okay? And Hillary's not even responding at this point. And so fucking class, the teacher's pet, I'm gonna name him Ryan. Ryan is like, I think she's on drugs. Okay, Ryan, we get it. You're a little snitch ass bitch, but that's fine, right? So Ryan is like, she's on drugs, and I'm just sitting there watching this whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because I know what she did. And so 5 minutes later, you go by. The teacher, Miss Applebottom's like, Ryan, can you take her to the nurse's office? Hillary's like, no, trust me, I don't need to go to the nurse's office. I'm fine. But she says it so like with slurred speech. Something's up, right? And she goes to the teacher's office, or the nurse's office, and turns out the nurse was good at like knowing what she was on. Like she knew she was high or on something, to the point like basically she gave her an ultimatum: either they call the police, because they did find her coke in her little can, and they were either gonna call the police, or her parents had to come. And her parents weren't like super strict at all, but they definitely weren't hippies. Like they went to church like every now and then. So they weren't like super strict, but they were definitely Christian, and they would not have supported this at all. Definitely not. And so her parents come to pick her up, and when her parents get here, she's like tweaking out even worse. And so they take her to the hospital. She took a drug test there, and they tested her to see what drugs she was on, and it showed up as coke and something else. And it's because the coke was laced with fentanyl. So yeah, I didn't find out about that until like 3 months. She went to rehab. Her parents put her in rehab. And yeah, she came back. People were thinking that she was kidnapped. People thought the cartel took her. All these bullshit stories. You know how high schoolers are. And the first thing she said, because I knew she was in rehab, and this is what I said. I threw the coke away. I threw it away because I knew it was. Well, parents told my parents about that she was doing coke and that it was laced. I flushed it down the toilet, bro. I'm not taking any chances with that shit. And yeah, so pretty much she was tweaking out in class, and she tried to give me some coke, and I didn't want it. Fuck, I meant snow powder, son of a bitch. But yeah, I don't really think that doing coke in school, in class, let alone, is a good idea, and I suggest strongly against it. And if you guys are doing it, you gotta get some help, because it's a bad addiction, and it can ruin your life. And best thing about this story, though, even though that she was put in rehab, when she did come out of school, she quit all drugs. I mean, she smokes weed every now and then, but she quit all drugs. So that's great. And I mean, she was talking about how she was gonna try meth, dude. Like, she was gonna smoke some meth. And I'm glad that she got caught, because yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy, and peace.